Hello wonderful people of the internet, welcome back to the third episode of Learning to be Blind, and today I'm going to continue the discussion or the conversation with you that I had about the computer test that I attended a couple of weeks ago, or a short while ago at least anyway. And we talked about the phone and how I was instructed to use VoiceOver, or asked to use VoiceOver more often. And I showed you some of the things I learned while I've been busy testing it out and whatnot. And today I'm going to talk to you about the computer, because not only did we talk to each other about the phone during the computer test, and also the iPad, because the iPad works the same as the iPhone, we also discussed how I use the computer. And as you saw in the introduction for this series, I actually sit very wrong at the computer. I have the screen basically right in front of my nose, and I need to lean forward to look at the screen, and my nose practically touches the screen. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but when I'm reading, I kind of move my head from the left of the screen and lean over to go to the right of the screen. I only have a really tiny field of vision in my left eye, so I can't and I don't have control of it because I have nystagmus, so it just moves everywhere, like you may have noticed. So the only way that I can focus on text and read from left to right is to move my whole head, and that's not really super handy. So anyway, we were looking at programs on the computer that could be installed on the computer to help with that. And I learned, or at least one of the first things I learned when I sat behind the computer at Bartimeus, was there are a special set of rules for how a person should sit behind the computer. They are made by one or other company that's related to work, and in the work environment you're supposed to have your desk at a certain height, and you're supposed to sit upright in your chair, and your screen is supposed to be a certain distance away from you and whatnot. And of course, if you're visually impaired, that doesn't work without special software. So we talked about 3 different types of software. There are more than 3, but the 3 main ones that we talked about, which are the 3 main ones for Windows, are JAWS, ZoomText, and SuperNova. JAWS is a simple text-to-speech program, so basically it reads to you everything that's on the screen, a bit like VoiceOver does for the phone, only you use keyboard shortcuts to navigate the screen, and then it reads everything to you that's on the screen. There's no magnification with it, and because it's a Windows product, it doesn't belong to Windows, it belongs to Freedom Scientific, but because it's a Windows-based product, it's designed to only work with Windows applications and no third-party applications. And that's sadly pretty much the case for all 3 programs. So ZoomText is not only text-to-speech, but it's also a magnification software, so it enlarges everything on the screen. You'll see in a moment when I show you the one that I'm using, that when everything's enlarged, you don't see the whole desktop like this anymore. You see only a part of the screen at any one given time, and you can pan and scroll, and yeah, but everything's bigger so that I can read it from a further away distance. With ZoomText, there are special readers there's a special reading application for reading emails and documents and web browsers. But again, because it's designed for Windows, it only works with Windows products. It doesn't work with any third-party products. So although the magnification you can open third-party products with, if you want the reader to read stuff, only read Windows applications. I've tried demonstrations of both JAWS and ZoomText before. I did that off my own research and my own knowledge, because I knew I needed something to help me with the computer, because I knew what I was doing wasn't right, and it's only getting more and more difficult for me to use the computer. So I've tried those before, and then we discussed SuperNova, which is also magnification and text-to-speech. So it magnifies just like ZoomText does, and it also reads everything that's on your screen, and you can do that either by keyboard shortcuts, or you can have it follow the mouse cursor so that it will read what's under the mouse. Every time you move the mouse around, it will announce what's underneath the mouse. I was asked to try a demonstration of SuperNova, and the biggest reason that I went to Bartimeus in the first place is, like I said, it's getting harder and harder for me to use the computer in the way that I'm used to using it. And what's the main thing I do on the computer? Of course, I'm kind of in the middle of doing that now. You guys, I need to edit you guys on the computer, or not necessarily need, because if I asked Jessica to do it for me, she would. But I want to be able to continue editing you guys on the computer. And the first thing that you do when you install any screen reader or magnification software is look online for the keyboard shortcuts so that you can do a number of things. So I've learned a couple of keyboard shortcuts like Control and Enter, switches on the magnification. So now you guys can see what I meant by you don't see the whole screen at any one given time anymore. You have to pan with the mouse and going from right to left and back up. And as you can see, you can only see parts of my desktop background and only parts of the taskbar, so I need to scroll to the right to see the clock and to get to the system tray. For me, this is magnified 12 times, and this is the distance that the screen is away from my eyes is the same distance that a normal person can see the screen. And yes, I'm very aware that this is ridiculously big. Yeah, because you only see a certain part of the screen at any one given time, it takes a lot of getting used to, and just the same as with the phone, in the beginning everything is slower and it's frustrating, and I've done a lot of swearing, and yeah, it's not a great deal of fun until you start to get used to it, and then you start to have fun with it. But that's not the only thing that this SuperNova, this software does. I learned another keyboard shortcut, which is Control and with the numbers across the top of the keyboard. Why am I stretching so much? Pull the keyboard towards you, you idiot. So Control, and I'm going back 4 keys from the delete key. So the 1, 2, 3, 4 to find the 0.
Stem aan.
And it starts to talk. So now when I move the mouse,
geen focus gedetecteerd.
Oh, it's going to be a butthead and
geen focus gedetecteerd.
And start announcing when there's no focus detected, which I figured out how to.
Focus gedetecteerd.
Which I figured out how to change. I just need to go into some settings and fix that. But now when I move the mouse, it should announce everything that's under the mouse, and also.
Menu lege regel tekstgebied. Gebruik de pijltoetsen om een optie te selecteren en om te activeren.
It's also giving me instructions on what I need to do for the keyboard shortcuts, but I can scroll.
VPS Reader bevat zoekmenu. VPS Playout Range bevat zoekmenu. Kladblok bevat zoekmenu. Rekenmachine. Just Pencil Pro 9 bevat zoekfilezilla.
It's reading what I'm scrolling through as well, which is really handy because not all the time can I focus even with it this big. My eyes change every day, so one day I can read it like this, on another day I can see colours and shapes, but I'm still not able to focus, and that's very annoying. So to have a voice is super awesome. I learned another keyboard shortcut just to save irritation. I'm going to turn off the voice again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Stem uit.
Let's turn off the voice. What was it? Control and I don't remember anymore. Mr. iPad. See, the important thing about learning anything is to write down the things that you needed to remember. So I wrote down some notes. So to turn around the colours, which is something that I find very useful because it makes everything suddenly way more clear when you turn around the colours. So Control and 0 on the number pad. You see that the colours on the screen have changed slightly. What I do like about this is that it's not sticking massive bright colours in my face, it's adjusting them so that they still don't hurt my eyes. But now when I open applications such as the web browser, like Google Chrome for example, and that's a black web page, so that doesn't work for me to demonstrate to you. Let me see. There are tabs somewhere here, the My Pick page. The thing that saves, basically the portable favourites page, you can now see that it's black, and yeah, the links are not that greatly readable because it's not picking up the colours directly, but you can see that now the background's black, so it's not blurring me in my eyes anymore, and I can see a little bit better to read the page, which is pretty awesome. And you see the tooltip here at the bottom is black with white text. And there are other options that you can change, so you can set it to any colour scheme that suits your eyes, but this is what I've figured out so far. So, you know, there's still some more exploring for me to do, but the reason why I installed this software was basically to figure out if I could find a video editor that works with it. So I'm gonna turn the colours back around to normal colours. And the video editing software that I normally use is Pinnacle Studio, and because you see that the stupid magnification doesn't allow you to see the whole screen at any one given time, you can imagine that editing with only being able to see a small portion of the screen would be very frustrating. Like for example, I don't even know that Pinnacle's opening right now because normally it brings a big purple thing up in the middle of the screen. So I'm gonna pan and scroll around. Oh look, there it is. So Pinnacle is trying to open, and I've already discovered that this doesn't work, but I'm gonna show you guys that it doesn't work. So what I would basically need, because I'm used to using the mouse for editing video, and I'm also, as far as I'm aware, I don't think there are any keyboard shortcuts for using Pinnacle. Not like in Adobe Pro or something like that. Pinnacle, I don't know, I haven't googled, so I don't know for sure, but I don't think there are any great keyboard shortcuts. And what's this saying to me? Oh, it's complaining at me that I removed, go away. It's complaining at me that I removed files from a project that it's trying to open. So yeah, this is Pinnacle with magnification, and magnification this big just isn't useful and helpful. I mean, let's turn off the magnification. Okay, you can now see that these are all my media files, which I've deleted all from the computer, so they're not there anymore. I need to remove them from the Pinnacle library, just to help me for a moment so that I can see what I'm doing. I'll put the magnification back on. If we go to the edit tab, when and if it wants to work with me, come on, I click the button. Let it go. You know, working with me? No, doesn't want to. It's being a real butthead. I would really like to edit some video, Mr. Pinnacle. I was thinking, well, this is my whole point. Pinnacle is just, even with the magnification alone, Pinnacle is struggling to work. Basically, both programs take a lot of power from the processor. So before I'm even trying to edit any video, my computer's like, no, you're making me work too hard. I installed another program yesterday called Video Pad. Yeah, just switch colours and then you'll be able to read it here. Video Pad, video editor, and video. I don't know anything about Video Pad at all yet. I need to learn. Switch the colours back around for you guys so that you can see. Same issue with Video Pad is with Pinnacle. I'm never ever going to be able to edit while I don't see the whole screen. This just doesn't work. It's confusing and it would be very slow and inefficient, and it will take me a whole day to edit video, which is very annoying when you're used to editing videos. But I'm one step further, guys, because if I turn on the voice,
Stem aan.
and we also switch language.
UK Engels, UK English.
Okay, it's on English now because VideoPad is an English program. And now it's on. Oh, you see, it's reading.
Home. Clips. Sequence. Audio.
Hulpje.
Menu. Export. Suite.
Hulp.
Custom. Vid. And Say project.
But anyway, guys, I'm gonna stop for today. I hope that you have some insight into the frustrations of using screen magnification software. It is very frustrating, I have to say. It's also very fun and very challenging. If you have questions, ask questions, I don't mind. Doesn't necessarily have to be on this topic. If you have questions on another topic, like how do I do something, ask me, and if I've learnt it already, I show you. If I haven't learnt it yet, you need to wait until I get help from the rehabilitation people. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until the next episode, be good. And if you can't be good, have fun.